A helicopter crashed into a mountain. The sad death of NBA superstar Kobe Bryant happened today when a helicopter crashed in Southern California. Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, two basketball teammates and their family members, a coach, and the pilot all died on January 26, 2020 at 9:06 in the morning Pacific time. The Sikorsky S-76B helicopter took off from Orange County, California. It was going to the northern LA suburbs. On the helicopter were the pilot and 8 passengers at 9:21 in the morning. The helicopter started flying in circles over Glendale, California, close to the city of Burbank. The pilot asked for special permission to fly in bad weather because of fog, which made it hard to see at 9:33 in the morning. The pilot asked for help from radar to avoid hitting other aircraft, but his request was said no to, and he was told he was flying too low for radar help. The pilot then told air control he was going higher to avoid flying through clouds. At 9:42 in the morning. An air traffic controller tried to talk to the pilot but got no answer. 2 Echo X-ray, what do you plan to do? 2 Echo X-ray, you're still too low for flight help right now. At 9:47 in the morning, someone called 911 about a helicopter crash on a mountain bike trail near Calabasas. At 11:24 in the morning. TMZ shocked the world by breaking the news of the helicopter crash and telling everyone who was on the helicopter. Era Zion was a flight teacher and pilot of the aircraft. Christina Mauser was a mother of 3 kids and assistant coach of the Mamba Academy basketball team. Sarah and Peyton Chester. Sarah Chester was the mother of Peyton, a young player for the Lady Mambas. John, Carrie, and Alyssa Altobelli. John Altobelli was a baseball coach for Orange Coast College. He was on the helicopter with his wife, Carrie Altobelli, and daughter, Alyssa, who played for the Lady Mambas. Gianna Bryant was the daughter of Kobe and Vanessa Bryant, second oldest of 4 daughters and a future star player for the Lady Mambas. And Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players ever. No words could explain how the world of basketball was feeling. The internet was a place of craziness. Half the people were shocked and really sad about the news, and the other half thought it was just some mean fake news joke. The basketball world was going through the scariest day in NBA history. The chance that one of the greatest players ever and one of the planet's most loved people, Kobe Bryant, had been taken from us. To make social media even more upset, pictures of the crash site started going around the internet. The clear images of the helicopter's broken pieces only proved the worst was true. The scariest day in NBA history quickly became the saddest day in NBA history. The week that came after saw many memorials made across the world to honor Kobe, Gigi, and those who had died. Feelings were strong, and there were lots of tears as fans everywhere came together to pay their respects and say goodbye to them. Murals covered the walls, and the numbers 8 and 24 were seen just about everywhere, proving that Kobe's legacy would live on forever. Part of that legacy will live on not only as fans, but in the new kids of players who Kobe acted as an example and teacher for. Kobe meant a lot to me growing up. I feel like I studied his footwork and game because I respected him. I think he's top 2 of all time. You can see how much he meant to the NBA world, but the greatest respect he could get was from his former teammates and brothers. One of these was Shaquille O'Neal, who he won 3 championships within the early 2000s. The team of Shaq and Kobe is often talked about as the best ever, helping each other's game almost perfectly. Their friendship had its good times and bad times, but there's no doubt how close the two were. And Shaq couldn't hold back the tears when talking about his friend. I lost a sergeant, I lost my sister, and now I lost a little brother. Kobe's greatest rival, opponent, and teacher Michael Jordan gave one of the most emotional speeches ever during Bryant's goodbye. Jay and Kobe had battled on the court for years, but they also had the greatest respect for one another. Jay was Kobe's example, his inspiration, his big brother, someone who Kobe looked up to in his quest to become the best. So when it was MJ's time to pay tribute, he gave a beautiful speech. Jordan would have to deal with another crying face meme for a while, but it was definitely worth it. I'll have to look at another crying meme for the next ... As the world lost Kobe Bryant, hearts broke even more at the news of the beautiful families and people who were also on the helicopter. As I read through comments about what happened and the touching speeches about Kobe, I couldn't help but stop and fully think about this one. Kobe was an incredible basketball player, but he was also an incredible father. Having his daughter on that helicopter with him, saving her would have been the only thought running through his mind. But there was nothing he could do. Gigi Bryant was an incredible young woman who wanted to push the limits and help grow the WNBA as a future talent. She had the world at her feet and was only just getting started, but it just wasn't meant to be, and her journey was cut short. As terrible as it was for people around the world to hear about, no one was hit harder than Kobe's wife and Gigi's mother, Vanessa Bryant. Looking very upset during Kobe's goodbye, she shared some final thoughts with the world. She was Daddy's girl, but I know she loved her mama. What's crazy is that all this happened literally only a couple weeks before the United States started to go into shutdown rules following COVID-19. In fact, only 6 days before Kobe Bryant died on the 20th of January, the first case of COVID-19 was recorded in the US. The memorial ceremony for Kobe took place on the 24th of February in a packed out Staples Center, and the Mamba for sure deserved the huge goodbye ceremony he got. But if they waited a week or two longer, he would have never gotten a proper send-off. You see, the ceremony was held only 15 days before big gatherings of over 1,000 people were banned statewide because of the coronavirus. More than 20,000 people gathered inside and around Staples Center for the memorial, which is insane. Like I said, 2 weeks later, the ceremony would have had to be canceled. The timing was perfect, just like Kobe at the time of this video. It's almost 4 years since Kobe Bryant died, and it still doesn't feel real sometimes. We now celebrate Mamba Day on August 24th to honor his jersey numbers 8 and 24 and remember his life. Kids across the world continue to shoot crumpled homework into the trash while hitting them with the meanest fadeaway shot ever while yelling Kobe. Players like Jason Tatum, Kyrie Irving, and Kawhi Leonard, who were taught by Kobe Bryant, carry on his moves and attitude into the next group of basketball players, teaching them the mindset and skills that set the Mamba apart from the rest. It truly was the scariest and saddest day in NBA history. I hope you enjoyed your walk down Hoop Street, and we'll catch you in the next one.